Hello everybody, and welcome to behind the scenes of our new music video, Just Monika. So what I'm going to be doing in this behind the scenes is just going through each animation file and just looking at certain things, giving little insights on how we made it, and some Easter egg point outs perhaps, and some other little things. Oh, go check out the original music video if you haven't seen it yet, because you'll need to see that before watching this. So without further ado, let's begin on the first shot. So, one thing to note about this shot, it's very short, but one thing to note about this shot is this is the exact same neighborhood from Why Did I Say Okie Dokie, except I did fix one thing, and yes, this is what the set looks like from the outside. It is not very realistic at all, but you can't really tell from the camera. But one thing I did fix from the last set is these doors actually have hinges now. Well, not hinges, but whatever these are, holding up this thing, because last time everyone pointed out that this was just a floating part on the door. So, yeah, I fixed that. And one thing different about this video from the last Doki Doki video is this whole video was made in Eevee, where the last video was rendered out in cycles. So let's look through this and see if I can point out anything else. Well, yeah, the sky's a PNG, you probably already noticed that. And it's the same sky PNG that was used for the beginning of Why Did I Say Okie Dokie. So, yeah, on to the next scene. Alright, so let's take a look at this scene. Nothing too much here, but one thing to note is that there is a little Z shirt hanging over the clothes bin over here. I should have probably made that an M shirt just to show that I exist in this universe, because he already has a Z shirt. Oh yeah, some people notice that the play button actually moves spaces, because at the beginning it's over on this wall, and later in the video it moves over to this wall. But I just wanted to move it here so it would be visible, so you would know it was our room, because our actual room has a play button on the wall, but it's over here. This whole room is actually a recreation of our actual real life room. Pretty down to every detail, actually. We even had, well, not anymore because some stuff has changed since then, but we used to have two bunk beds. One was made of metal and one was wooden. We still have the wooden one, but the metal one is gone. Oh yeah, another Easter egg that I don't think was very visible was there are storyboards on the desk for Now Hiring at Freddy's, which is the Enchanted Mob video that me and Zachary directed and I drew storyboards for. I actually still have them right here if you can hear the paper. Still have them on my desk, except it is a larger pile, a very large pile than just 4 or 5 papers. Oh right, these Overwatch figures on the desk are actually the same figures I have on my actual real life desk, just not pixelized. And these were made for an Overwatch music video that we were going to do, but we're not sure if we're still going to do that anymore. We're probably going to do shorts instead of a music video. And I guess that's it for this shot. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, let's look through this shot and see what there's to talk about. This was, I believe, the first shot we started animating. We had some other shots concepted before, but this is the first one we actually started animating. So, yeah, before we actually, you could probably see in the teaser image that we posted on our YouTube channel, community tab, that Zach's skin here used to, let me turn on lighting mode because it looks a little dark. There we go. Zach's skin here used to look a lot more orange, so we ended up having to change, oh, it's in the teaser video actually. His skin is a lot more orange in that video, and the lighting looked a lot flatter until Adobe Animations actually went in and redid the lighting, which helped make the video look a lot better. So yeah, thanks Adobe. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to make a video about this. All these scenes look very wonky from the outside view. I'm just gonna play it and see what it looks like from the outside. So much random floating. This one isn't as bad. Oh, hey. What was going on down there? Oh, hello, Sayori. Okay, yeah, don't know what that was all about. But, yeah, we were debating at first whether we were gonna include this beginning audio into the final music video, but we eventually decided that we were gonna do it because, I don't know, we thought it'd fit better and help understand the story a little more. I don't think there's much else to say with this shot, so yeah, let's move on to the next shot. Alright, let's take a look at this. Oh yeah, this part looks very wonky from the outside. If you would pay attention over here to Natsuki's skirt for a moment. Yeah, not pretty. That's called me trying to do skirt physics by myself without any help. That's why 90% of this video was hand animated with the skirts instead of using physics, because I have no idea how to use physics with Blender. We ended up having Graphication Maker do some of the skirt physics for the later scenes, so thank you for that. It saved us some time. But yeah, for the rest of the video, the skirts were hand animated. Yeah, I'm just gonna show what this looks like from the outside view. They're just sticking their heads in the floor like birds. Wow, Monika, you've got some extreme leg strength to be balancing like that. So, oh yeah, one thing to mention is this entire classroom is actually not the same one from Why Did I Say Okie Dokie. I had to remodel it completely from scratch with new models, new textures, just revamped the entire thing. And I think it was worth it in the end because going back looking at the old set is actually a lot less polished than this one. The only thing that was completely reused was these posters on the wall because, I don't know, I didn't really feel like redoing those and I think they're fine as they are. I mean, I guess that's it for this shot. There's not much else to say. Let's go into the next shot. Alright, so next shot is shot 4, which... Okay, these shots are numbered very weirdly because the very first shot is actually called Neighborhood, and then the shot where it's zooming in on the computer at the beginning is called shot 0. And then shot 1, shot 2, and then it skips to shot 4 because shot 3 is non-existent apparently. So anyway, let's take a look at this. Okay, one thing I already remember off the bat is I actually forgot, and if any of you watched the live stream of me animating this, you'll know what I'm talking about. I already had rendered this scene completely, but I forgot there was no writing on the on the whiteboard, so she was just pointing at nothing, and this was like a day before we uploaded, so I quickly had to add in a thing that said festival and just put it right there onto the whiteboard so it would make sense, because I completely forgot about that before. And yeah, all hand animated skirts here, so that wasn't too fun. Oh yeah, one thing that is not really noticeable is this stick she's holding changes sizes throughout the shots. Like right here, it's very long, but then in this shot, it shrinks to about half the size because she couldn't fit it in her hand. And it's not even being held in her hand, actually. Her fingers are just kind of going through it. You can't really tell from the camera, though. It's just for the sake of, I don't know, appearance, because her finger looked really short, and this was really distracting if it was too long. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff going on down here if you look outside the camera. Yuri's just kind of sinking into the floor. I was thinking about saying which parts each of us animated, but it was kind of a mix the whole way through. So there's not really a way to point that out, which scene was animated by who. Except for a few shots that were very much only animated by Zachary that turned out really good. So I think that's about it for this scene. So let's go on to the next scene. Alright, here we are in the next scene. This scene takes a special place in my heart because this was the first scene that I actually thought of for this video, and it was in my head ever since we started working on it. And what I was saying about animating scenes by myself, this scene was actually animated completely by me. Apart from the, actually no, I did do the skirt animation in this. So I did all the animation in this shot. So let's take a look. So yeah, for this shot, there was like, oh yeah, by the way, I saw a lot of comments about this. The characters are not moving in the background, and yes, that was intentional, because she is like going into her mind in this part. She's having a daydream, so time is kind of stopped around her. We didn't just forget to move the models. They're like, how would I forget that? They're like right there. So yeah, that was intentional, even if it doesn't look like it. But yeah, animating this part was actually really fun. It was really, I thought it was going to be really challenging, but it was actually pretty easy to animate, and it was probably the most fun I had. It was probably the most fun I had animating this entire video. Except for the skirt. That was not very fun to animate. So let's take an outside view look at this. Oh yeah, the house is just kind of floating down here. But yeah, she just jumps across these 3 pillars that are just floating in the void of space. And there's a spotlight over here following her. And the way we did these little sparkly effects is I made a glowing cube over here. It doesn't look like a cube because it's glowing so bright. But I made a glowing cube and then created a particle emitter coming from the sky. And it's just raining down these little tiny glowing particles. So when you look at it from the rendered view, it just looks like little magical sparkles. So yeah, I thought that turned out pretty well, because it turned out exactly how I envisioned it. Oh my gosh, one part that was hard about this actually was making her hold and draw with the pencil, because she has no thumb, so she can't hold the pencil. So when she starts drawing with it, it just kind of flips in her hand, and when she's actually using it to draw, it's just floating there against her fingers. Oh, look at this wrist. Ouch. There was no real good way for her to hold the book one-handed, so when she lifts up the book, it just kinda, right here, just kinda floats into her arm. Yeah, it's not, you don't really notice that much, because it's such a quick movement, like that. But yeah, at least the wrist got smoothed out in the rendering, so that's good. Alright, I think that's about it for this shot. So, oh, one more thing I need to mention. We did forget to have Sayori's model with the open shirt. Her shirt is buttoned like everyone else's. So yeah, whoops, that was a mistake on my part. Because all the girls in this video were remodeled. Because, I don't know, the old ones needed an update. And we were using a completely new rig this time with new facial controls, and it had fingers this time. So we had to remake the rig for the girls. Oh, one thing I actually noticed here is that this scene does not have the updated skin. He's still very much orange, as you can see from here. So, whoops. That's my bad. So, let's look at the next scene. Alright, so let's take a look at this scene. First off, yes, I did do these drawings, and I still have them on my desk, right here. These are actually 2 separate drawings that I did on 2 different pieces of paper, and then I just got a paper texture and overlaid them in Photoshop so it looks like they're in the same area, because it proved to be a challenge to try to draw both on one paper because my wrist would smear the pencil, because this was hand-drawn on paper. So yeah, I just made them 2 separate, and I don't know, it looks a little cleaner actually, because the background is completely white instead of having any real-world shading on it. So let's look at this. Oh yeah, creepy Monika's just here the entire time. She's not even pulling the book down, actually. And Sayori's arms aren't... there's a lot of stuff going on here. Sayori's arms aren't actually connected to her body here. And Monika doesn't actually touch the book when she pulls it down. It's all a matter of perspective. She is holding it here, though. And her shoulders are actually connected to her body in the next shot. Oh yeah, this is another shot I had early on planned with the red string glowing. This is actually from some Doki Doki merch that had these glowing red strings on them. So we decided to use that as a theme throughout this video, which I think worked because, I don't know, I liked how the red glowing stuff looked in this video. It just gave it a nice thematic color. There's a lot of red in this video. And yeah, that string is also hand animated. That was not too easy to do. Took a lot of figuring out. Zachary actually animated that, the string twisting. And yeah, the thought bubble. Unfortunately, I can't show they're in a separate file, so we'll look at them later, but the part where she gets all glitchy and stuff, that was mostly done in After Effects and Premiere, so yeah, this was just blank when we rendered it. Oh, and yes, there is a penguin on the shelf, like in every ZAMination music video that has a shelf in it. That's been in, it was in Why Did I Say Okie Dokie? Pretty sure it was in the Foxy song. It was in Follow Me. It was even in the both April Fool's videos, I think. And it's in a couple of funny moments as well. So always be on the lookout for the penguin. He's always gonna be on a shelf somewhere. And yeah, I animated this shot with the hanging, and I know some people said it was a little violent, but don't worry, all the gruesome stuff is off screen. It does look a little more horrifying when you look at it outside the camera view, though. Yeah, not as fun. Oh, she even has facial expressions. I didn't even realize that. Ouch. Don't demonetize this video, please, YouTube. Alright, let's look at the next shot. Alright, shot 7. Oh yeah, this is actually just the video playing on his screen when it zoomed out, but it's in its own file. And congratulations to Zachary for figuring out this shot, because this was the first shot that was ever concepted for this video. And if you look on our community what's a chab? Community tab on our YouTube channel, you could see a few months ago, we actually posted a teaser that had this image on it. It was a little different, but you could see what it eventually turned into. And Zachary got these cool looking smoke effects to work, which I never thought was going to be possible, because me and Zachary are not the best when it comes to effects stuff. So this actually turned out looking really cool. And Zachary animated this little bounce animation. So yeah, this took the theme for most of the video with the red string and the puppets and stuff. So yeah, let's look at the next shot. Alright, here we are in the next shot. Yes, the green screen computer. Yeah, that was just green screened onto the computer. We didn't actually put it on there, because it just looks a little clearer once it's actually just overlaid on top. So yeah. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned yet, there is a Overwatch poster on the wall. We have one in real life. It's not this one, but this is actually a render we made way back. It's in our Mindfair announcements update kind of video. We displayed this render there, so that's where it originated from. But yeah, we just decided to put it as a background poster. So yeah, that was cool. I don't know if it was shrouded in lighting or anyone actually saw it, but if you did see it, let me know in the comments. Yeah, this scene was completely animated by Zachary, actually. And he did an amazing job with all the facial expressions in this video. They all look very lifelike. So, there's not much else to say with the shot. It's the same bedroom from earlier. And yeah, let's move on to the next scene, I guess. Alright, we're in scene 8 now. Let's play this. Oh yes, I liked this shot a lot. I did a lot of the animation in this one. Okay, a lot to talk about here. Slap! Okay. So, what to talk about in this video? I mean, to talk about in this shot, the beginning part here, I animated, and then Zachary animated everything up from here to when the manga part starts. Oh, poor... Whoa! Okay. Did not realize what was going on with his legs there. What's going on here? Wait, let me look at that again. Oh, gosh. Poor Zach. His poor legs. Is there no floor here? Just realized that. At least that didn't get shown in the render. The floor's completely gone. Oh, by the way, Natsuki is completely obliterated in this shot because her head kept getting into the camera frame, so it just had to get taken off, and she looks very much in pain. Very much in pain. Look at that face. I dare someone to set this as their profile picture. So, yeah. This shot was animated by me. Or actually, everything here until the end of the video was animated by... Not the video! Why do I keep saying that? Everything from here on to the end of the shot was animated by me. Because this is also one of the parts that I had an original idea from before we started the video. So, another thing to mention is this book right here. The manga, I don't know how you say it.
Manga.
I always say manga, even though it's manga probably. So, Cosmic Cosmo, our sister, actually did the art for this manga cover. And she spent a long time on it, and it turned out looking really good. Probably even better than it should have. So I wanted to give it some recognition because it showed up for such little time in the video. It's based off Kill la Kill, was where this art came from. And she drew that completely by herself. And it only got shown for a little bit, so I feel kind of bad. And she even drew an inside comic portion that actually has text and backgrounds and shading and all this cool stuff. Oh, and I added a little Easter egg here that says illustrated by Cosmic Cosmo. So if anyone caught that, yep, that's who drew it. Our sister Cosmic Cosmo. I'll leave a link to her in the description if you want to check out more of her art. And she even has a YouTube channel where she posts story time animations. So that's worth checking out. Alright, so this scene, I purposely added 2 frames without motion blur so that you could see the book covers in the actual video. So let's take a look at these. So the second book we have here is another manga, and it says Little Witch Academia from, well, Little Witch Academia. Academia, actually, I think it's pronounced.
Academia.
But Zachary actually made this model a couple months ago, and he animated a little test that he put on Twitter. I saw some people pointing that out in the comments, so it is cool that people remembered that. And I'll leave a link to that in the description as well, if you want to go check that out. And there's a FNAF Ultimate Custom Night manga that is based on the Ultimate Custom Night anime-looking cutscene with Foxy and Freddy. And yeah, this is actually Japanese, and what it says here is Fox and Bear. So yeah, I wanted it to say the Fox and the Bear, but it was a little too long, so I just shortened it to Fox and Bear. And then the last one we have here is Death Note manga, and it's, I don't know, simple enough. You just have a render of Minecraft light and Death Note written at the top. Nothing too special. I think that's it for this shot. Let's go on to the next one. Alright, let's take a look at this. Oh yeah, Monika comes out of his butt in this scene. He literally, his legs, she literally just pops out. She just goes whoop. But yeah, from camera view, it looks like she's coming out of his butt in the shot. So yeah, I animated this shot with the piano, which was actually, I'd say, one of the hardest shots in the entire video to animate. which thankfully Zachary helped me with animating the fingers because that was one of the hardest parts. I had tried animating the fingers playing the piano before, and whoa, that wasn't easy. And I actually went and put the extra detail of all these little individual piano strings getting pushed by her. You can't see it from the camera view too much, but you can see the shadows, so you can tell it's moving under the right circumstances. But yeah, this shot actually turned out really good, and it's exactly how I pictured it, so I'm glad it turned out good. Also, for everyone asking how this random piano appeared in the scene, it's cartoony. Give me a break. I just needed just an excuse to have a piano without switching to a different scene. So yeah, let's go on to the next scene. I think that's really all there is to say about this one. The next scenes are some of the best in the video though, so let's take a look at those. Alright, here we are, some of the best shots in the video. The next 3 scenes were all animated by Zachary, and these were one of his original visions for when he started the video, and he was really proud of how it turned out, so let's take a look. Let me turn Simplify down, because that's lagging. Alright, let's play it. This is very expressive. Wait a minute. Is Penguin gone? Oh no, Penguin's there. Oh, poor Penguin. He's clipping through the wall. No! Okay, back on track. Sorry for the distraction. Oh boy. Yeah, poor Natsuki has her head off again. Natsuki has a knack for getting decapitated. Actually, she does in the game too, because she twists her head off or whatever on that one part. So yeah, I'm gonna act like that was on purpose. So, what do I have to say about this part? Oh yeah, one thing that I could say about this part is when you see the little reflection on the knife here, I actually placed a bunch of intentionally placed lights that would reflect perfectly off the knife when she turned it into different angles, because her knife was blending in with the background a little too much. So I had to add those little glow effects on the knife to make it stand out a little more. Plus it just looks nice. So I guess there's not much else to say about this scene, except for this crazy face that I saw some weird photoshops of. So yeah, don't do that. Alright, let's go on to the next shot. Alright, shot 11. Let's take a look at this. Yes, very, very expressive on this part. And she's actually tugging on her collar there, even though the rig doesn't support that. So we just had to add a shape key and extend out the collar so it looks like she's pulling on it. But yeah, Zachary animated this entire part, and it turned out looking very excellent. It's the most expressive part in the video, probably. Now, there's not really much to say, actually, about this shot. A lot of these shots are in the same set, so I don't have much to say in terms of set or lighting, because a lot of them are similar. So let's actually look at the next shot. Alright, let's take a look at this. Oh, poor Natsuki. Poor Natsuki. She did not get rendered out in this scene. And Zachary spent all this time animating her. And she didn't get rendered out. It would have been such a cool addition. You could see her getting scared in the corner. But, alas, she was not rendered out in the final scene on accident. That's my fault, because I was in charge of rendering. So flame me if you want in the comments. Oh yeah, here it comes. Blah. Okay, yeah, for this shot, we were considering whether or not doing it because of the violence level, but we made sure that it was completely covered up by her hands, so you don't actually see the knife going in. And we didn't add any blood or anything. We just added a glowing red lamp to, I don't know, to give off the fact that she was getting, I don't know if I can say that word, getting pierced with the knife, shall I say. Don't want to get demonetized. Alright. Yeah, I just feel sorry for Natsuki for not getting rendered out in this scene. Wow, this smear frame makes the knife look fat. This is an absolute unit of a knife. This is actually different from the knife that we used in the Foxy song and Follow Me. Because that knife looks a little outdated. And we're probably going to use this knife for Foxy Song 3. And yes, Foxy Song 3 is going to be a thing. We are in the works talking about it right now. So, but that's for a different day. So, poor Zachary in this video. He's just getting harassed by Yuri and Monika the entire time. Seems the only sane ones in the video were Sayori and Natsuki. Mostly Natsuki, though. She didn't deserve it. Alright, let's take a look at the next shot. Alright, shot 13. The last shot to actually be animated in the entire video, because we, like, kind of just put it off because we knew Monika was going to be dancing for this shot, and I was the one who had to animate that. So I was like, because dancing's really hard to do in animation, and I had to block it out, which is a different animation style than I usually do. I usually go what's called straight ahead, where you don't have to block out poses, but I had to do that for this shot, and it turned out pretty good. I'm proud of that. But yeah, this was the last shot to get animated because of the hard parts. So let's take a look at it. I love how this dance turned out. Fun fact, actually, and this was very surprising. There was a GIF that someone posted of this dance. You might recognize it. Somebody posted a GIF of this dance onto Discord, and it became the #1 trending GIF on all of Discord for about 3 days straight. And I have no idea how that happened. I was like, what? It literally was on the top of trending for everyone I knew on Discord. And I asked for proof from other people, and it was indeed the #1 trending GIF on all of Discord for 3 days. It was #1 trending on Discord, iMessage, and Facebook for about 3 days, which is, I have no words. I don't know what to say about it, because I don't exactly see the appeal. I mean, it's a nice GIF and all, but it's not like a reaction or anything. I don't know what situation you would have to post a Monika dancing Minecraft GIF. But yeah, that was interesting when it became top trending for a couple days. So yeah, it's not there anymore though. So if you were gonna go check, I apologize. It's probably not there anymore. As of recording this, it stopped trending about 2 days ago. Oh yeah, about this shot. This shot is very perspective based because Zach looks very dumb when he's running towards the camera here because I did not animate his lower half. He just, it's not very polished at all. But yeah, you can't notice from the camera, so that's all that matters. In animation, most of the time, stuff does not What am I saying? Stuff does not matter unless it looks good from the camera, because that's where you're going to be seeing it. So if it looks bad from a different angle, that doesn't really matter. The only time it does matter is if you're in game design. That's when you have to have all your animation look good from every angle. Yeah, let's take a look at the next shot. Alright, scene 14. Ah yes, the Monika Thanos shot, where she snaps people out of existence. And yes, this was green screened as well. We didn't have a way, or we did have a way, but it would have taken too long to just completely remake this scene in another file and add the background in, so we just green screened it and did some color correcting. So yeah, for this shot, what is there to say? Oh yeah, she, like I said earlier, this rig doesn't have thumbs. So when she snaps, I actually notice how there's no thumb here right now. When she closes her hand and opens it again, I created a separate thumb mesh and just parented it to her wrist so it would look like an actual thumb. because she needed to. You cannot snap without a thumb. That is physically impossible. So I had to add a fake thumb for that shot. So yeah, poor Cupcake. Cupcake blew up. And yeah, those explosion blue zap effects were all done in After Effects. I had to learn this plugin called Saber, which is the same effect that, if anyone has seen Enchanted Mob's Disconnected video, when the animatronics are getting shocked by lightning, he actually used that same plugin. And if anyone has seen Andy BTTF's Baldi animation, it's the same plugin that was used to make that electronic looking text at the beginning. So yeah, I had to learn how to make that. So yeah, a lot of people noticed this, and I put it in the behind the scenes short as well. Also check that out if you haven't yet. There's a short animation reel behind the scenes with some fun facts in the corner. And this shot was actually completely reanimated after... Oh, it was reanimated from a shot in Enchanted Mob's video, Trust Me. I'll actually show it on screen right here. And it is the exact same animation, but some people didn't know what I meant by that. It is not it's not the same animation copy-pasted onto the rig, because Enchanted Mob uses a different program, so I had to animate it from scratch still. I just did the same movements and facial expressions. It's, I don't know, it was just kind of a nod to that video, because whenever I was first imagining this song in an animation, that was all I could think of for this part, so I just ended up doing it for the meme. So yeah, again, fake thumb here. So, I guess we'll just take a look at the next shot. Alright, scene 15, where she goes into the real world. So, like I said earlier, this is our room. Oh, and you can see now the play button is back on the other wall, where it's supposed to be. And for this shot, I'm too embarrassed to actually show it, but for this part where Monika's going, there's no one else in our way, and she does that little step right there, I actually recorded in real life reference of me doing that motion in front of a mirror in the bathroom, but there's no way I'm showing that. Just like I wasn't going to show the Springtrap reference of me crawling across the floor. You'll just have to guess what that looked like. So, yeah, what is there to say about? Oh yeah, she's not actually holding him in this shot. He is completely disappeared from reality, and apparently her skirt has as well. And yeah, she's actually just holding this camera here, or she's not even touching the camera. But yeah, she spins around the camera, which is supposed to look like Zachary's point of view. And there was actually a very glitched out version of this that I made a play blast of that I think is really funny, so I might just show it on the screen right now.
There's no one else in our way, so look at me and just say right here, my dear, that you love me and we'll...
So yeah, that, I don't know what that was. So, yeah, for... Oh, what? Okay, I didn't even realize this face was in the video. I dare someone to make this their profile picture. Oh, what? Okay, this was a mistake I didn't see. His whole bottom half is hair. It's like he's got a gigantic beard. Does that even show up in the video? I think it does. Oh, no. Okay, I didn't notice that. Whoops. Well, we're learning a lot here today. Just make sure to double check your skins. And I'll tell you why that's so important later. Because there's something we completely missed. And some people were asking why she grew in this scene, and my answer is just dramatic effect. I just thought it looked cool. So yeah, let's take a look at the next shot. Alright, shot 15 roof _ fix, because I am very good at titling my scenes. For this shot, it is literally just, there were so many dynamics in this that we had to make it a completely different shot. It is just Monika lifting up the floor as it smashes through the roof, and the roof explodes and goes into the sky. And yeah, a lot of people were asking why this happened, and I think it's a cool idea. So that's my excuse. So this model for the rocks and stuff is actually different than in the next shot, at a completely different texture and model. So my bad, I forgot to replace that. But ta-da, there is actually nothing outside here. There is just a ton of random rigs and stuff over here for some reason. Okay, actually, ignore all this, and there's a broken diva for some reason. And some very ominous looking T-posing silhouette of some demonic figure. Let's just ignore him. And yeah, there's a fake sky here because when I changed the actual background sky to be that color, it was doing some weird glitching things because Eevee is glitchy and I don't know how to get around it sometimes. So yeah, these clouds are just a PNG and the sky's fake. And the pieces of the house coming off are real though. I actually had to break apart the roof and animate these giant chunks of house just falling off. All these though are just fake, kinda. All these little tiny house pieces, they just explode out of an emitter right here that's shaped as the roof. So yeah, those just kind of pop out, but you can't really tell because it's covered up by the platform. Oh, and yeah, there's actually nothing underneath here, even though our real life room is the second story of the house and not just some non-existent void room. So yeah, let's take a look at the next shot. Alright, here we are in the absolute largest scene that we've ever had to animate in our lives. This scene is gigantic because there is very much city. Because usually when you have a shot of a city, it's from a decently low camera view, so you can just have buildings covering up the edge of the world. But you go way high up in this shot, so I had to make so much city, and you'll see some of my workarounds that I did. So let's take a look at this. Oh yeah, this sky is also fake. It's just a gigantic plane that moves in the sky. Because everything looked really blue for some reason when I made that the actual sky color. So, yeah, another thing that wasn't too obvious, but I probably should have put more effort into, was the fact that when the room smashes out of the house, it's, I don't know, it's just not connected to the house at all. It's just coming out the side, and the house doesn't even break. But, yeah. So, these are just a cloud PNG again, and this sun is actually just floating pretty close to the ground. It's not even that high in the sky. And for this shot, you can see these background mountains shrouded by fog. It's not actually, I just added a fog-looking thing. And these are actually completely flat mountain PNGs that are just pixelized. Because they are very, very far away. This set is so big. Because if you look at them right here, usually a set would be like, I don't know, this big. But you can see the size of one normal character here. Then you zoom out, and this entire city, all the way going back to here, has to be in the shot. So what I did, actually, was the main city was actually pretty decently detailed. Like, every building is 3D. It all has proper extrusions and stuff like that, and there's street lamps and road signs and trees and stuff. But the farther you get away from the camera, the buildings actually start to become flat PNGs because they started to lag the scene because I started having too many buildings. So what I did was I took a screenshot of the side of the actual 3D models and I just put them onto a flat mesh so it looked like they were 3D in the final render, when in reality most of these are just flat planes. And these trees are actually flat as well in the background. And a lot of these buildings are just copy-pasted and rescaled and stuff. Because, yeah, there's just so many buildings. It's so much city. But it was... Oh, hello, ARM. What are you doing here? But most of it was shrouded by fog and depth of field, which I did intentionally because sometimes it's a little obvious that the buildings were flat. So I tried to cover it up as good as possible. So let's take a look at this. What is up with these arms? There's some random floating arms glitching all over the place. And this is actually the only shot in the entire video where the storyboards are visual from the camera. I don't know if you can see them in the final video though, because they might be covered up by motion blur or something. But yeah. You'll have to go check that and see if it actually showed up. If it does, let me know in the comments. Oh, and one other Easter egg over here is a billboard that I custom made for the background. It is a reference to the Dig Build Live series by Bootstrap Buckaroo on his channel. And I needed a bunch of billboards for the background of the city, and brain fart. Okay, what I meant to say was I needed a movie poster, but I couldn't figure out what movie to do without having to make my many new models by myself. So what I did was I just took a screenshot of the TNT boys from one of the Dig Build Live episodes, and I turned it into some movie poster. And it says coming out fall 2015 because for anyone who gets that joke, Dig Build Live kind of just stopped happening midway, and then there was a teaser posted later that said new episodes coming fall 2015, and nothing new ever came. So we always make jokes about fall 2015 even though that was literally what, 4 years ago now. Wow, time flies. But yeah, that's a poster, and I think there's another one over here actually. Oh yeah, this is a reference from this. I made an enchanted mob hiring banner on the side of a building because I needed another ad. But this is actually a reference to the video we did for Enchanted Mob now hiring at Freddy's. Because at the beginning, when Enchanted Mob turns on the TV screen, the businessman comes out and he's like, "Hey there, pal, looking for work?"
Hey there, pal, looking for work?
So I put, "Hey there, pal, looking for work" on this giant banner. And then I put Enchanted Mob Incorporated, and then Enchanted Mob is owned by Zach Bell, which is the CEO of Enchanted Mob in real life. So that's a little Easter egg. I don't think you could see it very clearly. It's like, you could see it in the camera a little bit, but yeah, it's not very obvious. And, oh yes, there's one other billboard that I forgot to take a look at. This one is, no one's gonna understand this one. I'm just gonna show it anyway. It's an inside joke one. There is a Bruh Moment beer over here that is an ad that shows a very cursed picture of Minecraft Sans.
Bruh.
And it says Brummint on the on the beer can. And it says, "For your best bruh moments, or for your best moments, the Brummint beer." And then in the corner it says 2019 property of the Council of Bruz.
Bruh.
So yeah, that's all inside jokes right there. And there was a Pigman Dan poster I thought was really funny, but I lost it for some reason. I still have the picture though, so I'll show it on screen right here. Yes, that was gonna be in the video. And I actually posted that in one of our private Discords, and people were thinking we were gonna make Pigman Dan 2. But yeah, that's not happening, unfortunately. Sad day. So what else is there to say about the shop? Ah, yes, this part. For the red around the world, I actually added a gigantic dome that is just red. And a bunch of random red strings going throughout the world that were supposed to be the threads. And there is the same smoke from earlier, but it is just a couple of smoke cubes that are around here. It's not throughout the entire world. That would have lagged the whole scene. Oh yes, there are some glorious smear frames for the part where she grows here. Here, I'm gonna hide this. This is getting annoying. There's some glorious smear frames from when Monika grows in this scene. She turns into a midget Monika for a couple frames. With tiny legs. And then, let's go frame by frame. She, oh shoot. This is a buff Monika. You ever heard of Buff Suki? No, this is Buff Monika. She gets extremely swollen this frame. And that is not the last you'll see of Buff Monika throughout this video. In the next shot, she is gigantic arm Monika. And huge thigh Monika. And big-headed, big arm Monika. Yeah, these are all smear frames because she starts growing by her bottom half first. And then she has offset, so her head is the last thing to grow. So there's just some really funny smear frames. Yes. There is T-Rex thick Monika when she grows the second time. Look at this monstrosity of a being. Someone needs to set this as their profile picture, this right here, and scare the heck out of people. So, yes, somebody do that. I dare them. Yeah, I'm gonna hide this arm too, so it's not annoying. Oh yeah, the bed. A lot of the textures for the items here actually are all dirty and broken because they got exploded through the ceiling. So this bed is completely missing its top half. And it's all like ashed and stuff. Oh yeah, poor Zachary. He's about to run off the edge of the world. Don't do it, Zachary. You have so much to live for. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't jump. No, but yeah, you can't really tell from the camera, but he was about to jump off, and that would have ended completely differently. So yeah, what he actually ends up doing is grabbing the laptop and throwing it over the edge. Yeah, then, oh yeah, this part, the laptop shatters, and that was all animated piece by hand. So each of these little pieces of the laptop, you can see the keyframes down here, they're all hand animated, exploding and hitting the ground and stuff. So yeah, that took a little bit of time to do. And these smokes are just sparks. Sparks. These sparks are just a little particle emitter from the center of the impact. So that wasn't too hard. That took a couple seconds, but yeah, that was a little hard to do, but it was fun because I like animating physics objects. I call them physics, but they're not actually physics. I just hand animated them, but it's fun to animate little pieces falling and stuff. So let's take a look at the last scene, because I think that's it for this one. Okay, let's take a look at the last scene. Alright, here we are at the final scene, and this whole scene was animated by Zachary. I feel bad. He had to animate, like, what, almost a minute straight, or not a minute, but about like 40-something seconds straight of 4 characters in one scene. So obviously that's not an easy task, so let's take a look at it. This part had some really good facial expressions. Oh, she's not actually she's still holding a layout book for some reason. Hope that's not in the actual video. One thing I kind of forgot that I really wish I could have gone back and changed, but it was too late by the time I noticed, is her eyes, by her I mean Sayori. Sayori's eyes are kind of gray instead of completely white like the other girls, because I had to change her eye texture because it eventually starts glowing at the end, but I forgot to turn the white up to its whitest form, so her eyes look kind of desaturated in the final thing. And yeah, yeah, it's a little distracting to me. I don't know if it was distracting to other people. I haven't seen anyone point it out, but I didn't really enjoy having to look at gray eyes for the last shot. Oh, and yeah, there's some people that pointed out that the door was open in this shot, and then it randomly closed in the next shot. I fixed it, but I don't think it got re-rendered, so that's my fault. Is her hair not animated here? Oh. Huh. Really hope that wasn't in the video. There's a lot of mistakes I didn't notice. This has got to be incomplete, because I'm pretty sure the hair was animated there. It was really weird to make Zachary the main character saying all this, because this is not what his voice sounds like. So it was weird for us to animate. But not a lot of people who watch this are going to know who the main character is anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Oh boy. Evil Sayori. I don't really know what to say about this, actually, other than Sayori gets creepy at the end. Well, I mean, Zachary did a good job making her look creepy. I'm not sure what else there is to show about the video, but if I think of something, I'll bring it up. Oh, right, there's those end credit scenes. I need to show those. Alright, let me open that up. Alright, so this is really cool. Zachary had an idea to make the outro be, these animated, not animated, these stills with an animated camera that show how life has gotten all better after Monika was gone. So it's just all the four of them hanging out at the end in these little end credit scenes. And yeah, right here they're basically just running in the default Gmod grass, it looks like. There's not really a world here, there's just a gigantic PNG of a sky and a couple grass bendy plains. And yeah, not too much detail here, but Zachary posed all these characters, which I thought ended up looking really good. So let's take a look at the next shot. Okay, I am gonna have nightmares now. This is the first thing that greeted me when I opened the scene. It was very scary Yuri looking right at my face. Alright, let's play this. Yeah, I like how the lighting on this part turned out. The reason she's telling scary stories is because in the game, Yuri is obsessed with these really dark and scary horror books that she likes to read all the time. So what this is supposed to be is they snuck into the classroom at night, and Yuri's supposed to be telling them scary stories, and they're all acting all scared and stuff. So, yeah, I really like her pose on this. She's like, ah! Natsuki looks horrified. Alright, let's look at the next one. Okay, here is shot 3 of the outro. This is where they're all reading their mangas. And a lot of people really liked this oh whoa Natsuki face for some reason. I see a lot of people having profile pictures with that on it now. And, I mean, I guess it does look cute. But, yeah, what else to say? They're all reading the mangas from earlier, which, don't know how they're entertained by it, because they're just reading blank pages. And, oh, Natsuki still has my stand-in picture before the actual comic was drawn by Cosmo. So, yeah, you get to read one word. Have fun, Natsuki. Oh, Yuri's reading the same thing, just extremely stretched and disfigured. You can't see that from the camera, can you? You barely can't. You can't make it out. Yeah. Oh, no! Oh, I thought I forgot to add all the objects on the shelf here, but I didn't, so good job catching that, me. Alright, let's look at the very, very last shot. Alright, here we are in the final scene with everyone saying goodbye to Zachary as he leaves. I don't really know what to say about this one other than I noticed that his shoulder is glitching out, and I think that was in the final thing as well. You can see a little skin popping through the clothes. And it looks like, I always think of this, but I never brought it up to anyone. This looks like Yuri's doing that Snoop Dogg pose from that one GIF. I'll put it on the screen so you know what I mean. I might be wrong, but I don't know, I always think of that. So, yeah, that is... I guess that's it for behind the scenes of just Monika. I went through every scene that there is, and no real use in going and looking at the specific rigs because they're mostly similar. I know I went and looked at the rigs for Follow Me, but that's because they're animatronics and they were complicated and they looked cool. But they all basically have the same clothes and stuff, so I think that's about it for everything I can show for just Monika. Thank you all for watching. For anyone who stuck around this long, leave a comment and let me know, because I am curious to see you actually watch the entire thing. You are a legend if you actually watch the entire thing. And I've been hearing a lot of positive feedback about the video, which is really making us happy, because this is probably the video we've worked on the hardest out of any of them before. It took about 3 months, certainly not the longest, but we definitely put the most care and effort into animating this one, so thank you all for watching it and enjoying it so much. We're already working on our next video, so stay tuned and stay subscribed so that you can see when that video comes out. If you want, you can check out the other behind the scenes video that are also on this channel, and consider subscribing to ZAMination too, because we post a lot of behind the scenes on there now, and we are going to do more and more as time goes on, so you don't want to miss that. So thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.